Today we're going to just yang yang, have some good old conversation, tell a little spiritual story time. So, I guess it's one of the main reasons I'm inspired to come and do this today is because the world is what you say it is. And when I'm concentrating on the world that I want, that's the world I get. And I have to say, of recent, that sucker's been like coming fast, right? And I really wish, I hope that people are hearing me when I say you can have the world that you want. I'm gonna tell you something. This little sunflower lavender oil with some vanilla is a doohickey that works, honey. I love that. I love that. So I got involved in spirituality from the standpoint of just curiosity, but also a calling years ago. And when I say that, I mean from a young age, I was a very gifted person, right? A lot of people are who are in this. They would be, and when I say in this, I mean in the spiritual realm. You really work in that world. Whatever place, whatever religion, whatever it's called, I don't have no thing on it. You feel what I'm saying? But I got involved because it was a lot to always be able to dream about people's lives, know what's happening with them, and then the stuff happened right in front of you. That was a lot to deal with from a little girl, right? So I'm thinking around 3. I'm about 4.5 years older than my brother. Yeah, it's around 3 because I started having these dreams and it was just me, my mom, and my dad in the dreams. And after having those dreams, you think it's kind of very normal. Matter of fact, I didn't think about it at all. I was just, I wake up, it kept happening though. It was, one of the dreams was a recurring dream. It just, for nights on end, and then it would go away. There would be no dream for a while, and then it would come back. And this is when I was a little girl. The dream finally stopped coming, and I noticed that it stopped coming after my father got into this accident that changed his life. And the accident that changed my father's life put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And I was 7, maybe 6, going on 7 or 7.5, like right around in there. I don't remember the exact age, the exact year, but that's what happened. And that dream had been coming. And the weirdness of the dream was there were 3 people in it, me being one of the 3, and my mom and my dad. It was a very black and white dream, and we were always being chased by boulders. Hello, everyone. We were always being chased by boulders. And eventually it smashed one of the people, not me. And I didn't know who exactly it was, but I knew it was the bigger one of the 2. When I started having this dream, as a little girl, I'll wake up from it. I can still feel how it would feel when I was little. Then as I got older, and this dream continued to happen, it was just a lot to deal with. Wake up as a little girl and you're having those dreams. Hello. And I'm having those dreams and we get called to the hospital and my father has had the accident and the dream stops happening. I've never had it again since then. So that was early in. My dreams were like that early. I was having prophetic dreams. They got more sophisticated and more slick the older I got as far as understanding. I knew, and my dreams were always prophetic. It's very rare I was taking a dip in the back. Hello, everyone. It was very rare I was taking a dip in the past. I was always seeing everything going forward. And no, was I dreaming of lottery numbers? Heck no. Okay, which I could have been. I don't know, because I'm not that person. And my mother wasn't the type to get up and ask you to tell you your dreams and everything. First thing in the morning, she just wasn't that person. Her mother was, but she wasn't like that with me and my siblings, so me and my brother. So I just get up and life is happening. Hello. And as I'm up and this dream is settling on me in the day, I eventually start to see over time, and when I say this dream, it's any dream. I eventually start to see over time that the dreams are happening. Like, they're happening. Okay, hello. And I'm like, why am I? And I never heard anybody else in my family talking like that. Never. But we were not very open like that either. You know what I'm saying? We weren't the type that we're going to sit around and talk about it. We got together and it was a big function and my grandmother was there. She would bring it up and then we would all kind of compare notes then. But outside of that, that wasn't happening in my family. Hello, hello. And let me see, is this done? Nope. After that, we all go back to our normal lives and not really discuss it. And so being a part of that process and understanding I have a real spiritual gift as a little girl, it wasn't heavily encouraged. I wasn't heavily discouraged, but it wasn't heavily encouraged, if you understand what I'm saying. So I was like, okay, this is just how I am. I dream about things and things happen. Hello. I don't know. So now, as I'm getting older, like I said, the dreams are getting more prophetic. They're getting more slick. They're getting more conversational. I'm having dreams about friends. I'm having dreams about friends' boyfriends. I'm having dreams. You name it, I'm having the dreams. Okay? But it was pertinent to whatever was going on in my life at the time. And whoever was a big bell around me in that way. But it's like I was just kind of observing it. I never really talked about it. Hello, Tino. And since I didn't talk about it like that, I just would see stuff happening. Then I start going through this thing that I'll never forget it. I don't know it's a big deal until later on in life. Because I meet up with this shaman and she tells me, I can see that you went through blah, 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 right? You got really sick for some reason. You couldn't figure out what was going on. So my form of that sickness, I was in my teens. Whenever we were getting ready to go out, go somewhere, it was a big social function with the people at the Kingdom Hall because my family were witnesses and so was I would get really sick to my stomach. And I mean really sick. It wasn't going to the hall. That was fine. It was the social stuff outside of that. And I would get sick. Sick. And I mean, literally, my family would have gone to the car. They're getting in the car. And just as I'm the last one coming out to lock the door, I'm getting real sick. Sometimes I couldn't go. And my family, or that my family would just be waiting on me because my body was doing this. In the beginning, they got real annoyed with me. Then it happened a second time. Then it happened a third. It just kept happening. And I didn't understand what it was, but I remember it because it was horrible. It was just horrible. It's like my body was just clearing itself of everything every single time I went around these people for social functions. And then eventually it stopped. So when it stops, it's done. I'm thinking it's done. In that form, it was done. It went on to be something else as I got older, and at this point, I'm now starting to step fully into the spiritual world. So from that age on, which was about that happened to me for about 13 to 16. So it was 3 years of me just getting ill to the point I didn't want to go nowhere. It's like my body was trying to stop me from going anywhere, and we would always force through it. That's part of what our issue is down here as humanity. We don't pay attention to obvious cues. Case in point, I'm in the shower earlier. I dropped something. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to do my shower a different way. Just the steps, literally. And hello, welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone coming in. Thank you for saying hello. Um, just talking about my spiritual history a little bit. But like, take for instance today, things dropped, and I was like, shoot, should I be doing that first? Probably. That's why, so I could reach over, get this soap, and it's really perfuming, and it's really nice. And it's just a good thing. And literally in that moment, I get maybe sometimes you should pay attention to what's going on around you a lot more because you're getting your cues that way. Like, as in, we don't always have to be talking to you to get you to understand stuff. So, going back to Spirit was trying to tell me, you don't need to be going out. I'm still going. But I'm going, it's supposedly a wholesome event. I'm hanging out with the witness kids, and my family trusts them. It's a trusting situation. It's not bad. It's just chips and dip and all these kids playing this stuff. But I felt horrible every time I was there. Oh, horribly nervous. Didn't have anxiety, but my nerves were off. I could feel everything right through here. And I think when I think about it stopping, it's pretty much it coincided with almost me not going to a lot of things. I started slowing all that up as a kid because you name it, I was going through it. And it wasn't like I wasn't a depressed person, I was a very happy person, but things were happening, per se, if you will. And those things happening were just, it was physiological. I was going to go to the bathroom before I went to the place because, for the most part, if I got there, I was going to be stuck in the bathroom for at least an hour. And it was then going to be obvious something was wrong. And my parents didn't want nobody to know that, so we didn't do that. So, what's wrong is my body is going off on me inside because I'm going around these people socially, and I feel like at that time it was probably the first time that I'm getting this ringing bell of those people really don't like you, stop going over there. I I mean, since then I know how to read that now, baby. I know how to see that, but before I didn't. And now, as I am older and fully cemented in my spirituality and in everything I understand, and open to learning more from that realm, baby, I trust in those little signs that come through and your intuition talking to you at the same time, saying, this is one of those moments. Don't look like it, but it is. Pay attention, you know? And so after I had those issues from about 16 to 20, it was just regular dreams. And by about, what was it, 17, 18, I learned that one of the key people I was hanging out with at that time was a real problem. A real problem. And when I say that, just there was so much lying and craziness going on, and I would have really got myself caught up in their stuff from a young girl if I had known. And I guess I was being kind of held back quite a bit, right? Then you eventually learn one of your friends betrays you. Like I went through stuff like that. And then as I get older, I'm a more guarded person. Very guarded, very, I protect mine. I ain't telling you nothing. Like, but I'll pay attention. I'll be very dependable, be a good friend to you. Still at this time, spirituality is kicking in. But being able to fully express myself and explore it and have conversations with people around it because of the people I was around was not possible. And at that time, I felt a calling to do something else. This was a slow moving process. I would say probably I was awakened and fully pulled into understanding quickly. I'm a very spiritual person when I was pregnant with my daughter. And so by then I'm 20. And then I know life is a little different than what you think it is, but still don't know anything. You know what I mean? Even now, you know, I know about, you know, little stuff, little things. I can always learn. You know, the others can always teach me. I know a little something. I can always sit at the foot. You understand and learn. So I'm going to come back with a part two. We're going to be talking about this because I can know that I broke off at the point where I'm talking about my spirituality and it being turned on completely by me being a mother and what that means and where it went spiritually from there. Okay. Stay tuned. My story's coming back. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Peace.